Okay, we're back. So I'm going to copy the settings on this one and come over here to this last shot. And I'm going to go ahead and paste the settings. Now, of course, we can see like the funky brush marks, which we don't want. So I'm just going to click on those dots and delete them, but not the whole picture here. Okay, so let me look at the before. You know what? Actually, I'm just going to click reset here, and I'm just going to start from scratch on this one. So automatically I can tell there's a lot of blue in there, so I'm going to warm it up just a little. And then once I bring up my exposure, I'll be able to tell if I need to warm it up even more. So I brought up my exposure here. That's looking good. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it about 1.3. Add a little bit of contrast, bring my highlights down, bring down the shadows, bring up the whites, bring down the blacks again. But I'm not doing it quite so dramatic as the last time because I don't think this one really needs it. Then we're going to come down here and add a little vibrance and a little clarity, a little more vibrance. Perfect. And then come add sharpening and noise reduction. Okay, that's good. So let's come up here to the adjustment brush and we're going to start again on their skin. So I do skin and hair together so that they don't look funky. And then let's bring those up so you can tell when you're too bright for sure. And bring the contrast down a bit. So what that does, when the contrast is real high, you can see a lot of definition in their skin and a lot of imperfections. When I bring it down, it makes their skin really soft. You don't want to make it like too much, but I do like to bring it down a bit just to make everything look soft and smooth. I'm going to bring up the whites just a little. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in. And then I'm going to come down to my eraser, bring the flow back up to 100. And I'm going to go ahead and erase around their heads like this. That looks good. And then I'm going to come right in here as well. They got a bunch on her dress, it looks like. So I'm just going to erase across her dress. Okay, and back here on his tux. Oops. See, now I got some, erase some of it off his face. So we're just going to come back to here. And erase it off of his face, or sorry, draw it back onto his face. And maybe a little bit more on her fingers. Cute. Okay. So when I zoom out, that's what their faces look like. That looks really good to me. Oh, except right here in her dress is really bright. So let's click on this, come back to the eraser. Sorry, this is kind of a time-consuming process, but it's easier than pulling it into a different program, which is the alternative if you want to like do specific brightness on specific parts. Okay, now I'm going to come in here on her dress and down here, and we're going to do the same trick we did on the other like full body one with the dress. So just make sure you've got the whole dress covered, and then we're going to come down to the eraser and do it at half with a big brush, and just kind of erase off the bottom here. Good. Okay, back to the A brush where we've been working. We're going to warm them just a little again. And then maybe bring up our brightness a little more and the highlights down. Okay, that looks good. Now the last thing I'm going to do, I just want the overall picture a little bit brighter, so I'm going to bring the exposure up just a little more. Oops, to 1.5. And then I am going to bring the noise reduction up just a little more, just because I've brightened it enough that I want to make sure there's not a bunch of noise. And there's not. That looks really good. So here's our before and our after. Perfect. Okay. On this last one, you'll never do this again. I've done this so many times, and as soon as you do it once, you're like, dang it, that was the worst. Why did I do that? And then you never do it again because you realize. So the first thing I'd probably recommend is just to crop it. So we're just going to straighten him just a little. And then I'm going to crop it in like this so that we're just a lot more focused on him. Okay. Now we still, I don't know, but then I guess maybe that you're seeing more of the houses and less of the background. Let's try something different. Let's try cropping it this way. I'm going to rotate it just a little straighten. Okay, maybe that's a little bit better because we're still seeing some of this background. I don't know, it's kind of your call. Paste. Oh, no, that was a bad idea. Okay. Yeah, so you might want to play around with cropping it. I probably would, just to try to get some of that emphasis off of the houses. But trust me, I have done it many times myself. So same kind of editing, get it nice and bright. You know, the brighter that you edit this, the less obvious the houses are going to be too. So maybe that's a good way to go. Just make it nice and bright. Bring in some shadow and some contrast, but I wouldn't do too much on the main picture. I'm just going to come all the way down to sharpen and noise. I'm just going to grab this guy. And we're going to really play up brightening them. She might be too bright to do it the same time as him, but let's see. If we make them bright, then they're going to stand out no matter what. People aren't really going to be looking at the background because they're going to be looking at and then her expression. Okay. Is not good. What I'm seeing in his temperature is lots and lots of red. So we're going to add some green in. Just going to look a little funky at first. Okay. And to get rid of the green, we're going to bring down the color. And that's just going to kind of too much. We just wanted it 0. Let's see. My computer's going so slow, sorry. Whites up, highlights down. I do want to get rid of, here, we're going to put the temperature like negative. Good. And we're going to bring the contrast, but we're going to bring back in a little bit of shadow. Okay. Yeah, I probably leave it like that. Since we've brightened him up so much, your focus really goes straight to his face rather than the houses in the background, I think. Anyway, play around with that. Play around with your crops and your other things and just kind of see. I mean, you could always try to just crop it in really tight like that too. Anyway, just play around with it, see what you think. It's probably too hard to Photoshop them out, but just do the best you can with what you've got. They're going to be grateful for anything, I'm sure. And these look really good. I'm really impressed. Shooting in the snow is the hardest. I've told you that before. These are so cute. They're a really cute couple and you did a good job. So, anyway, hopefully these were helpful. I will talk to you later.